Welcome to Sports Betting Top Picks and Plays. This is for the college basketball edition. My name is Abby. Wednesday, February the 26th. We have a slate of games here, or a set of games here for the college basketball show. Are going to be looking at courtesy of oddslogic.com, where you get the latest up-to-date news on the line moves, point spread moves, totals, injury reports for college basketball, oddslogic.com. So we're not going to go through every single game on the board. We're just going to handpick a few games, marquee games that I like. First one here is going to be Michigan State at Maryland. This one here, -3, Maryland, that's the opening number. Total is 151, if you can see that there. Way up top. So it's left -3 and it's now gone to, we're actually seeing fours come up on the board. Fours, 4.5s. Mainly fours right now across the board. That's Michigan and Maryland. So we're going to look into this game further. We'll take a look at this now. Michigan, Maryland. Look at the line history to see what's going on. Hope y'all can see. Let's see here. Hope you guys can see. Let me just see, just one moment. I'm going to brighten the screen a little bit so you guys can see. There you go, that's a little bit better. We can see the screen now. You guys can see. Okay, so Maryland right now, they are getting the money. So you see it going up to 5, down to 4. Yeah, Maryland's getting the money right now, from what we're seeing here. And the total, it's 149. So it looks like the public's on Maryland. And it looks like the under in this game. Let's look into this game further. That's the NBA. Sorry about that. It should be the basketball information. Basketball. So Maryland and Michigan. We'll look at this one here. Head to head. I have a play on this game. I'll get that to you in a minute. Michigan State, Maryland. Let's see. This is the first meeting of the season between these two teams. They have not played this season. First meeting. Michigan State, 7-3 last 10 games. Overall, 6-3 against the spread. 6-3-1 against the spread. 2-8 to the under. So Michigan State's won 3 straight games. 2 games they've won on the road and 1 at home. They covered as a dog on the road. +6.5 at Illinois, +3 at Michigan. And they've gone under in 3 straight games. In the 3-game winning streak, they've gone under 3 straight. Overall, last 5, 4-1 last 5, 1-4 to the under last 5. That's Michigan. That's Michigan State, Michigan State. Maryland, 8-2 last 10, 6-4 against the spread, 7-3 to the over. Maryland's won 4 in a row, and they've covered 4 straight games as a favorite. And they're 4-1 to the over. When these two teams meet, they play to the under. Last 3 meetings have gone under. But this one's higher. It's a 150. So it's for me in this game, I have to just look here. Not really a lot of movement in this. Not the lines. There's not really a lot of line movement in this game, or not line movement. Not the total hasn't really moved that much. It's still, it's 140, I see it's still at 150. It hasn't really moved. Yeah, it hasn't really moved. It's at 150. Now it's down to 149 in some books. Yeah, it hasn't really done a lot. Let me take a second look here. Hasn't really done a lot. Let's see something. Let's see. Take another good look at this. For this game, I like Maryland on the money line, and I like the under the 150. I'm gonna take the under and Maryland money line. That's the way I'm gonna play this game. That's Michigan and that's Michigan State and Maryland. That's the way I'm gonna go about this game. The next game we're gonna look at. We're not going to go through every game on the board, just some of the games, not all the games. Next one's going to be South Florida versus Temple. This is an intriguing game. South Florida versus Temple. So we'll look at this game further. As you can see, the number here for South Florida. If you can just get this straight, it is 2.5 Temple at home. Total is 152.5, as you can see in green, highlighted in green. So when you look at the line now, the line has come down to 1.5. Total still at 152.5. We're seeing at 153. Yeah, so it has gone to 153. So at 153.5. But it has gone to 153. Let's look at this one further. So look at this game. Temple's getting the money. For the total, it's 152, 153, 152. Let's get another perspective. So of course Temple's getting all the money for the spreads. It's all Temple. The public's on the under for this game for some reason. Under, that's the best so far. It's the under. Let's look at this game further. We'll take a look at this game further. That's South Florida and Temple. We'll look at this game further. Okay, so this game here, they did play about 2 weeks ago in South Florida. South Florida is a 4-point favorite. They covered, but had to go over overtime to cover, 100-91. And it went over the total, over 152.5 that game. So it's the same thing. It's 152.5. Let's look at this one. South Florida 3-7 last 10 games, 3-7 against the spread, 3-7 to the over/under. South Florida 1-4 last 5 games, and are 1-4 to the under. South Florida. Temple 2-8 last 10, 4-6 against the spread, 9-1 to the over. Temple, they've lost 6 straight games. And on the 6-game losing streak, they are 5-1 to the over. So you're giving up a lot of points. Yeah, the only way to bet this game for me, the only way to look at this is gonna be the over. Over 152.5. Let's get the update. That's what I have here. Over 152.5. The last two meetings between these two teams, including the one 2 weeks ago, have gone over. So that's Temple and South Florida. Now it's 153 now. Let me look at the first half in this game. Let me take a look at the first half. See, there's better value there. So they go up to 153. Let's see. Yeah, I'll still stick to the over. 153.5 over. Temple, South Florida, over 153.5. I'm still going to go with that. Like I said, the last two meetings have gone over. So I'm gonna stick to that. I know the public's on the under, but I'm gonna disagree with the public a little bit here and take the over. Next game to look at here will be, let's see. It's going to be Auburn and Mississippi. This one is minus 12.5. Auburn, as you can see, total 154. Right now we're seeing if it's 13.5. 13. And it's 153, mainly. So we'll take a look at this line here. Okay. The public's all over Auburn in this game. You're seeing 13.5. And the public's on the under in this game. Under 153. Let's see here. I think I looked into this game here. Let's look at this one. Auburn. Auburn. Okay, so the head-to-head meeting between these two teams, they did play this year about 3 weeks ago in Mississippi. That's in Ole Miss. Auburn a 5.5-point favorite. Auburn won 92-82. And it went over the total, 149.5. Now it's up to 153. Last 10 games, Mississippi, Ole Miss, that's against other opposition, 4-6 last 10, 2-7-1 against the spread, 6-4 to the over. So Ole Miss has lost 2 straight games. They are 3-2 last 5 games. And for the over-under, they are 3-2 to the over. Auburn, number 1 team in the country, 9-1 last 10 games, 5-5 against the spread, 6-4 to the over. Auburn's won 4 straight games, and they're 2-2 to the over/under. 4-1 the last 5, and 3-2 to the over. So both teams are playing to the over. Let me look at something here. Let's see. Let's look at this here. Yeah, the way I want to go in this game, I'm going to take the over. Over 153.5. Or sorry, 152.5. It's 152.5, so I'm going to take the over in this game. And I like Ole Miss plus 13.5. I think they can cover this game. They're at home. They're a home dog. I like him in the spot to cover the 13.5. I like him here. And the over. Over 152.5. All right, so the next game we're going to look at here. Let's see. Take a look here. Notre Dame and Clemson. This game is 13.5. That's the spread. Clemson favored at home. 137 is the total. Right now we're looking at 14.5, and the total is at 136. 136 is the total, and 14.5. So we'll take a look at this one. Okay, so this game here, you're gonna see Notre Dame, of course, is the public dog, and the public's taking them. And the total is over. A lot of over is in this one. So, public on the over as well. Let's see. Clemson, Notre Dame, let's see. All right, so this game here, 7-3 last 10 games. Notre Dame 8-2 against the spread, 5-5 to the over/under. This is the first meeting this season. Notre Dame. Oh, sorry, lost you there. Sorry about that. Yeah, first game of the season. Notre Dame overall 4-6 last 10 games, 2-8 against the spread, 4-6 to the under. So Notre Dame, they are 2-3 last 5 games, and are 3-2 to the over. That's Notre Dame. As for Clemson, 9-1 last 10, 8-2 against the spread, 6-4 to the over. So Clemson, they have won 4 in a row, and they've covered 2 out of the 4 games as a favorite. And 3-1 last 4 games, 4-1 in the last 5 games, and 3-2 to the, 4-1 to the over Clemson. So both teams are trending towards the over in terms of current form of play. And that's the reason why I like the over in this game. So for me, over, let's get the right number here. Let's see. Over 135.5. I like the over. Yes, over 135.5. So definitely going to be taking that. That one's for sure. Yeah, I'm going to be taking that one. As for the side, I have no play on the side at all. I just like Clemson game to go over the total itself. All right, so the next game we're going to look at let's see here. We're going to do Vanderbilt and Texas A&M. That's the next one. So Vanderbilt 7.5 point favorite, total 146. Right now we're seeing it come down. We're seeing an 8 actually. I saw 8. 8 just popped up and it's at 145. So let's take a look at this one. So A&M getting the money on the spread. And looks like under money coming in for this game as well. So we'll definitely look into this game further. Let's see. That's Vanderbilt. Let's see. Vandy, Texas A&M. So head-to-head, first meeting of the season, Vanderbilt 4-6 last 10 games, 5-5 against the spread, 6-4 to the over. Vanderbilt 2-3 last 5 games, 2-3 to the under. That's Vanderbilt. Texas A&M 7-3 last 10, 4-5-1 against the spread, 2-8 to the under. A&M has lost 2 straight games. They're 3-2 last 5 games. 1-4 to the under. So both teams are playing to the under. Yes, so both teams are playing to the under. So the only way I can look at this game, the only way I can see this game is, let's see, I'll take a deep dive into this one. Let's look at this one here. A&M. Let's look at this game here. Yeah, the only way to go here for me is going to be Texas A&M. Texas A&M minus the 7.5. I'm going to take Texas A&M here. We've even seen it go to 8, so I like Texas A&M 7.5. Yeah, A&M 7.5. Yeah, so I'm just going to be taking A&M and the points 7.5. I'll lay the number. I'm not going to be touching the total. The total, I'm going to leave that alone. No play on the total whatsoever. The next game we're going to look at, remember, we're only picking a handful of games. Let's see. We're going to look at Drake and Evansville. That's the next game we're going to look at. Drake and Evansville. That one is right now, if you can see it. Drake is a 8.5 point favorite. Total 122.5. We're seeing this thing go up. I saw a 9 on the board. And it's at 124. So we'll take a look at this one. That's Drake and Evansville. So Drake here is for the public. The public's on Drake. For the total, looks like it's an under, but it's kind of early to say. Let's see here. Yeah, the only way I'm going to play this is going to be. Actually, before I get to that, let me do the head-to-head first. Let me look into that first. I have a play on this game that I like. So we'll do the head-to-head first. So Drake and Evansville. We'll look at this one. Drake head-to-head 10-0. They've beaten them 10 straight times. Drake again, they beat them January 11th at home. Drake was at home, 15-point favorite. Drake won 63-40. Stayed under the total. 120 at that time. The last 2 games in this series have gone under in this series. Drake, 9-1 last 10 games, 6-4 against the spread, 5-5 to the over/under. Drake's won 2 straight games. They're 4-1 last 5 games, and are 2-3 to the under. Drake. That's what it is there. On the Evansville side, 5-5 last 10, 6-4 against the spread, 8-2 to the over. This one here, Evansville, 2-3 last 5 games, and are 4-1 to the over. Evansville. So again, my play for this game, I like Drake here. Drake at -8.5. I like him a lot here. It's gone to 9, so that's a good sign. So I do like Drake and the laying the number in Evansville, and I like the under 124.5. I like the under. I know it's trending to the over, but I like the under. I'm going to take the under in this game. But I like more of these Drake to cover the points. Next game to look at here. Remember, it's only a handful of games we're going through, not every game we're going to go through. Penn State, Indiana. That's the next thing we're going to do. Indiana, 5.5 point favorite. Total 151.5. The total has come down from 151.5. It's come down to 149. That's an interesting move there. Somebody must be hurt, I'm guessing. But it's a very significant move. 5.5. Yeah, it's 5.5. Indiana, then it's gone to, total's gone down to 149. Then we're seeing 6s. Indiana at 6, down to 149. So let's look at this one further. Take a look at this one. So loves all the money's on Indiana in this game. And looks like it's heading towards the under, but still early. Let's see. Indiana, Penn State. All right, so we'll look into this game further. Indiana, Penn State. So Indiana, Penn State. This is the first. Actually, no. Sorry. Yeah, they played last month in Penn State. First meeting of the season. Penn State was a 8-point favorite. Indiana covered the 8 points, and then Indiana won 77-71. It's under 157. So this is the second meeting. So Penn State overall, so 3-7 last 10, 5-5 against the spread, 2-8 to the under. Penn State, they have won 2 straight games. They're 2-3 last 5 games, and let's see, 2-3 to the under. Penn State. Indiana, 3-7 last 10, 6-4 against the spread, 5-5 to the over/under. Let's see, 2-3 last 5 games. Indiana, and are 0-5 to the under. So they've gone under in 5 straight games, just playing defense. So we're going to look into this game further. Penn State, Indiana, we'll look into this one. So Indiana, Indiana. Okay, so look into this one. Yeah, so for this game here, let me look at this one. Yeah, for me in this game, I would look more so to the under in this game. The last two games have gone under the total in the last two meetings. Remember, they did play the first game last month and it went under 157. So the line's dropped now to 149. So I like the under. It does make sense because both teams right now are playing to the under, and they're both struggling offensively. They're having offensive struggles, both Penn State and Indiana. So I like the under in this game, under the 149.5. Let me just verify something here. Under 149.5. I got the under 149.5 in this one. Let me look at a first half. Let me see something in the first half. Let's see if I can get better value there. Okay, so the wisest thing to do, the smartest thing to do in this game, instead of doing the full game under, take the first half under, Penn State, Indiana, under 71.5. Penn State, Indiana, under 71.5. That's the best move for this game. Under 71.5, Penn State, Indiana. Next game we're going to look at, no play on the side, just that's the only thing I'm going to do for that Penn State, Indiana game. Next game is going to be Bradley, Valparaiso. This one here is -5. That's the opening number. Total 150. It has gone down to 4.5. Hasn't moved that much. And it is 151. Let me just verify something. Hold on. Yeah, so 5 and it's gone to 4.5, 151. Let's look at this one here. So Bradley's getting all the attention. It's at 151. Okay, so we'll look into this one here. Bradley, let's see. Okay, here we go. So Bradley, Valparaiso. We'll look at this one. So they did actually play late last year, December 29th in Bradley. Bradley was a 14-point favorite. Valparaiso covered, but Bradley won by 6 points in overtime. Sorry about that, folks. Do apologize. Sorry about that. I don't know why it's doing that. Just hold on. Sorry about that. Yeah, so as you can see there, Bradley won 81.75. The total was at, we'll get the total here. It was at 149. As you can see there, 149.5. It went over. So this game here, this is the second meeting. So Bradley right now, 6-4 last 10 games, 4-6 against the spread, 6-4 to the over. So Bradley 4-1 last 5 games, and 3-2 to the over. Bradley. Valparaiso 3-7 last 10, 3-6-1 against the spread, 7-3 to the over. Valparaiso 3-2 last 5 games, and are 3-2 to the over. So both teams are playing to the over. First meeting went over. So the only way to look in this game, let's see. Bradley's favorite 4.5 on the road. They beat Evansville on the road as a favorite, and they beat Belmont. Valparaiso is an underdog. At home dog. Belmont, they were a home dog, covered and won. The only way I want to play this game, I have to look at the over in this game. So I like the over. Let's get the Bradley game here. Get the right number. Over 150.5. I like the over. Bradley 150.5. Over in this one. So I like Bradley there in that matchup. Over. Side, no play on the side. Just the Bradley and the over. Let's see. Next game we're going to look at is Kentucky, Oklahoma. This one is -2. Open up at 162. Right now we're seeing it go all the way to 3. Kentucky by 3. And it's 160. $163. Look at this one. Let's see. The public's on the under, and Kentucky is getting the money, as you can see. Kentucky getting the money, and the public is on the over. I'm sorry, on the under. Excuse me, they're on the under. Ooh. So that's an interesting one. Money's on Kentucky. Let me look at this game further. Kentucky's a -3. Let's see here. Oklahoma. Let's see. So look at this one here again. So this game here, Kentucky, Ole Miss, head-to-head. This is the second meeting between these two teams. Kentucky, they have not played this year. Last time they played was 2010. That was a long time ago. So overall, Kentucky 4-6 last 10, 5-5 against the spread, 5-5 to the over/under. Kentucky 3-2 last 5 games, and are over/under 1-4 to the under. Oklahoma 4-6 last 10, 5-5 against the spread, 5-5 to the over/under. Oklahoma 1-4 last 5 games, 2-3 to the under. So both teams right now are playing to the under. Let's look at this one. I'm going to take Kentucky on the money line. I think Kentucky wins this game. I like Kentucky here. Yeah, I like Kentucky here. I think Kentucky wins this game. They went on the road at Oklahoma. I like them here. I don't have a play on the total. I just like Kentucky money line. Kentucky on the money line. That's the play for me. Next game we're going to look at here. Like I said, we're only doing a handful of these games. We're just going to pick a few of the games. That's it. St. John's and Butler. that's the next game we're going to do. St. John's is a 7-point favorite, total 150. Right now, it's coming down to 6.5, and we're seeing 151. So we'll look into this one now. Let's see. This one here. St. John's getting the public money. Public all over St. John's. Wow. Let's look at the total. Under. Under money. Straight up under. St. John's Butler. Okay, we'll look into this game. This is an interesting one. Let's look into this further. Okay, so St. John's Butler. We'll look into this one. So they did play earlier last month, at the beginning of the year in St. John's. St. John's was an 11.5-point favorite. Butler covered on the road, but St. John's won by 8 points, 70-62. And the total was 148.5 and went under the first game. Last two matchups between these teams have gone under. So this is the second meeting. St. John's right now 9-1 last 10, 7-3 against the spread, 4-6 to the under. So St. John's 3 straight wins. So 4-1 last 5 games, 3-2 to the over. Butler 6-4 last 10, 6-4 against the spread, 8-2 to the over. Butler 4-1 last 5 games, 4-1 to the over. So both teams are playing to the over. St. John's getting all the money. Let's see. Let's look here. Let's see. Let me look at the first half and see something. See if I see any value in the first half. Just bear with me, folks. We're almost there. Just gotta looking at our first half. Okay, so for me, what I would do in this case, the first half is 3.5. I would take Butler in the first half. Butler plus 3.5 in the first half is the play. I would do that. That's probably because St. John's usually, they're a team that starts off slow. They're not a good fast starting team, in my opinion. So I think Butler can take advantage and stay within the 3.5 in the first half. So I like Butler first half plus 3.5. No play on the side and no play on the total for this game. Next game we're going to look at and this will be the last game. Ohio State at USC. That'll be the last game we're going to do. This one's -1, total 153. And now it's gone. So USC was favored. Now all of a sudden Ohio State's favored. Wow, this is an interesting move. Yeah, that's an interesting one. For me, let's look at the line here and see. Let's look at something here. Let me just see something here. Let's look at the line history. Definitely have a play on this one. So Ohio State's getting the public money now. Let's look at this closely. This will be the last game we're doing. Last game for the college basketball edition. Then I will give you a pick and a total for this one. This is the first time that these teams are meeting. Ohio State's last 10 games are 5-5 last 10, 5-5 against the spread, 5-5 to the over/under. They've lost 3 straight games. They're on the road for 2 games. They're 1-4 last 5 games and are 2-3 to the over. Sorry, 3-2 to the over. Excuse me. That's Ohio State. USC 3-7 last 10, 4-6 against the spread, 8-2 to the over. USC's lost 3 straight games. They're 1-4 last 5 games, 4-1 to the over in the last 5 games. Like I've mentioned this before a few times already. In cases like this, let's get back to that game. Yes, Ohio State USC. So when a team like USC is favored by 1, that's the opening number. Then all of a sudden, Ohio State's getting the money, and the total goes down to 151. The way I look at this game is 2 plays. First play, I like USC and the points. So if you're giving me USC as a underdog, I'll take it at home. As a home dog, I'll take USC all day. I got USC. Now for the total, let's see here. Because they were initially favored, so I like to stick with the team that was initially favored, which is USC. So I'll take him as a dog. So plus 1.5 for me, USC. And I like the over. 151.5. I'm gonna see if let me see the first half over. Let me see something there. Let's take a look. Yeah, so in this case, what I would do, USC on the points, it's plus 1.5, plus 1. And I like the over in the first half, over 70.5 first half, Ohio State USC. I like that angle. So that's the way I'm going to play that game. Our show, the college basketball show. Thank you for joining me. My name is Abby. Again, whether you fade or follow these picks, it's up to you. I just usually look at the games, analyze, and base my decision how I feel and how I like the games. That's basically how I go about picking them, based on how I feel, stats. So you don't have to follow that if you don't want to. I still hope that you cash your tickets, whatever you do. Hope you cash your tickets. And hit the like and subscribe button so we can provide more college basketball picks, sides, totals. We'll be doing this all the way through March Madness to the Final Four and to the finals. So stay locked here for your picks, daily picks, totals, over-unders, the whole 9 yards. All right, so again, good luck to you guys tonight. Hope you guys cash some winners. Stay true to yourself, stay blessed, stay humble, believe in yourself. Peace. Sangha.